It's Wednesday. Let's head out to the new zoo in Swamico.
Neil Anderson joins us again live. Good morning, Neil.
Hey, good morning. Well, we're talking about giraffes, and of course the weather is getting nice, so it won't be long. They'll be outside. We're hoping in another week, but you can still come in and feed them, and you can feed them now that our hours are from 9 till 6 o'clock. You can actually come in the inside this building. You can feed them from 10 to 11 and from 2 to 5. But we're talking about feeding animals today, and that's a big job out here for the zoo. You have over a couple hundred animals. They all have different diet requirements. How do you go ahead and put all the diets together? Well, one thing that we do have is we have a dietary management software program called Zootrition. It does a lot of different things, and like I said, it analyzes all the feed stuff. But last time, we talked a little bit on the Zootrition program, but one of the components that we also have to know is, what do they do in the wild? Now, you've got the female over here. Now, a female and the male, they have different activity patterns during the day. The females will browse, walk around and browse about 50% of the day, of the 24-hour period. So you're looking about 12 hours of that activity. The male's about 43. Now, take that into account then, walking. Okay, who walks more? The males will walk about 24% of the day of a 24-hour period, and the females only about 13%. So we got to take that all into account, and how many calories are burning and everything. The other neat thing is we also have to take into account diet presentation. How do you present the diet? Now you see that these guys, they've been designed, to really outcompete any other land mammal in Africa except the elephants, with a 6-foot browsing line basically above what any other animal could be, and that could be a gerenuk or anything. And the other thing what's neat is the base of their skull is designed as a flexible joint between the atlas and axis, that they can go ahead and they can bend their hand up pretty much straight. Now, and he loves food. It doesn't matter what he's eating; he's all good to go. But here's how we take that into account. We have a feeder here, and we use this at a particular height. So when you're feeding animals, you want to make sure that where their diet is, the presentation is what would be in a natural environment. Also, to go ahead and get them to spend more time foraging, like they would in the wild, you can see up here, we've got a feeding apparatus that we can adjust. See, we can adjust the heights. And you can see also, we make it real difficult for them to go ahead and get the hay out of that, so that they have to work at that. Now you got to think about that, because the giraffe, especially the female, she's going to spend, naturally she'd spend about 50% of her day feeding. So what we have to do is we got to recreate the environment that we're getting close to that, to be able to do that. Now we can use a lot of different things. We can go ahead up here with feeding, with hay. We could also use some browse. We can also, up here, we have different enrichment devices that we can put some different food in. But that is all to go ahead and replicate that activity pattern. Yeah. So when it comes to diets, there's a lot that goes into animal diets, and it goes into different seasons and the different ages of the animals as well.
Yeah, good stuff, Neil. Thanks for filling us in. What was the giraffe doing when it was
licking the garage door?
Yeah, licking the garage door. Did it feel good on its tongue or what?
Yeah, they lick everything.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good to know. Thanks, Neil.
There you go.
See ya.
Sounds good.